American recipe. Create a special dish that always brings a smile to your loved one's face.
What are we making?
I'm making crab cakes for my babe.
This was the first dish that I made for my wife. We're married now, so...
It's really dry.
Where's your oil? Let's try to get more hydration. I gotta keep an eye on the time.
It's a moment of truth.
Hope and pray to the pressure cooker gods, you know?
A Spoonful of Love on episode 3 of The Great American Recipe, Monday night at 9.
For more than 40 years, the Capitol 4th and KQED have come together to celebrate America's National Independence Day celebration. Join me, Alfonso Rivero, with Smokey Roberts, Sheila E., Fantasia, Darren Criss, Chloe Flower, the Broadway cast of The Heart of Rock and Roll, Lauren Allred, Sister Sledge featuring Legendary, and Fireworks. Live from the U.S. Capitol, it's a Capitol 4.
Commemorate the country's 248th birthday Thursday night at 8.
Here's tonight's lineup on KQED, made possible by your support.
It's in our blood.
It is living your culture to create.
The soul, that energy, it's me.
You're watching KQED.
Notify all units that Ravinda Machani is now the prime suspect and should be considered armed and dangerous.
I talked to you and you alone. That's the deal.
10,000 in cash, passport, burner phone.
Where's Rav Machani?
They stop me up! I'm gonna send you!
I'm listening to everything you're saying. I'm gonna need you to give me that gun.
D.I. Ray, Season 2, Episode 3, tonight at 10.
No food is free. We all eat something, and that something comes from somewhere, and it all has an impact associated with it. It's like the sweetness, right?
It's so sweet.
Diversity is a key word for transformation of food systems and for making them better for people and for the planet.
Can we save our oceans and feed our growing population? Is it possible to do both?
The final episode of Hope in the Water, Wednesday night at 9. KQED thanks our members and community partners for their support.
Every day, we're working to make California's energy system safer and stronger than the day before. Whether it's deploying new technologies like artificial intelligence for faster fire detection and response, undergrounding more lines in high fire risk areas because it's less expensive in the long run, and installing stronger poles and covered power lines. At PG&E, we are building a stronger, safer, and more affordable energy system for your community.
Funding for this program provided by AIDS Healthcare Foundation, California Institute of Contemporary Arts, Dwight Stewart Youth Fund, the City of West Hollywood, Los Angeles LGBT Center, California Community Foundation, and by these additional funders.
One Magazine was the first openly gay magazine, and just being on display at a newsstand was a very important signifier of gay culture's greater emergence into the public space. Now, before One Magazine came along, there were these magazines that did cater to a gay readership, physique magazines. These were magazines that were mostly pictures of men wearing almost nothing except little pouches, under the pretense that these are exercise magazines.
In 1951, Bob started a physique pictorial magazine, and the people who knew what it was, really knew what it was and who it was for.
people traded them. They just gave them to each other. You know, somebody bought them at one point and they passed them around.
Physique Pictorial and one, I sort of would get both of them.
That magazine continued up until the early 90s.
The color came in and that was a big deal.
And as long as it pretended that it was just an exercise magazine, it could get away with it. But what made one different was just the fact that they admitted they were a gay magazine, right at the time that it's being persecuted the most. It was very, very important for the people who read it. A lot of the people who read it were in small towns or suburbs where they didn't have access to any kind of gay culture. And it's important to know that gay people had a lot of trouble just finding information about themselves. What does it mean to be gay? How do I deal with this? How do I categorize it? How do I think about my sexuality? And so it was a lifeline for so many people. People wrote letters to the magazine, expressing themselves, talking about their problems, asking for help. One published some of those letters. They responded to all of those letters. They really created this intimate sense of conversation, but at a very large national level.
23 August 1960.
November 16th, 1964.
March 1950.
January 24th, 1950. 3rd of March.
Pennsylvania.
Dear Sir.
Dear One. Dear One.
Dear One.
Dear One.
I learned of your magazine from Corey's homosexuality.
It's going to be hard for me to put my problem into writing, but I'll try to get all the facts across. You see, outwardly, I'm a woman, but inside I have male emotions. In fact, at times I become two different people. For a while I'm a woman and even act like one, and then all of a sudden I'm a man. Sometimes I get so lonely and depressed I can't bear to go on any longer. I guess this is